Hey, it's Mac with PriceActionTradingSystem.com, and our usual disclaimer, this is not always as easy as we make it look, so just understand that there's risk in trading futures, and you can lose more money than you actually have invested in your account. So just keep that in mind. This can be done, you can learn it, but it looks a lot easier in these videos, so just make sure you understand that trading futures is a risky business. Okay, today I'm going to show you a couple of trades like I've been trying to do on Fridays. And this came from a trader. I've never gotten a trade from him before. This is somebody new. This is going to be a reversal type trade and this is a true reversal where you're looking for a top or a bottom, and he plays this reversal pattern. It's a failed second entry short. Works out pretty good. He tries to get a runner and doesn't get much of a runner, but he plays his runner perfect in my opinion. I don't know what prices ended up doing, but there was I remember this day there was a clear channel working down. You get a close outside and a couple of legs to a new low, with this last one being a really actually in my opinion this was a separate leg down, and you get a close outside the new low. So there's a good chance that we could reverse here, get a trap of some kind, and that's what this is. Now, if you've followed me very often, you know that I tell you most of you probably shouldn't try to take these kind of trades. They're a little more, they're very advanced. They're a little more convoluted. You really need to understand price action. Um, I'm not sure what this trader's level of trading is because didn't share that with me, but he just shared the trade with me. And I think it's a great read. I think it's a good trade. I think the way he played it perfectly. Um, Was that by luck or design? I'm not sure because I don't know his level of trading. So, but just make sure you understand that this is not a trade that most of you should attempt to take because you need a lot of experience. So, if you're experienced and you're making money every day and you understand the dynamics of a failed second entry on a reversal pattern or a continuation pattern, then by all means, if you want to trade them, trade them. But most of you are not at that point. Most of you are just struggling to get profitable. And this is not a trade you should be taking if you're struggling to get profitable. And so that's the last I'm going to say about that. But this trader plays it well. And you can see a possible second entry short setting up here, which is what has to happen first before you can have a failure in a trap. So let's let this play out, and I'll kind of talk about it as it goes. But you can see he showed us the setup there. He's basically showing us. He said he couldn't zoom in on his chart or something, um, so he couldn't show the whole chart at one time. So, but that's okay. We saw it, and now we'll watch the trade. And there, the bar. He's just waiting on the second entry to trigger, and there it is. And so now he's putting his buy stop one tick above the signal bar for the second entry, and if it fails, which it did, and he's in the trade now. He looks like he's going to try to scalp out with 4 and take 1 for a runner. And now he's moved his stop to break even plus 1 as well. He gets really close here. He actually moves it up some. Uh, and I think what he's going to end up doing here, if I remember properly, is he's going to trail his stop once he gets a higher low. So we'll watch it play. I mean, you saw he wasn't in the scalp. I probably wasn't 15 seconds. I don't know. You got to go back and look at the how long it was on the recording, but it wasn't very long. So it was a very quick, easy trade for him. And now he's got this runner going, and we'll watch it play out. So he's got a higher low now. I think he waits for this bar to close, and he's going to tighten his stop up to 1 tick below that, I believe is what he does, if I remember correctly. Well, maybe he doesn't move it. Yeah, I think he does. Okay, yeah, he did move it up. So now he's one tick below that. So I can't see the right side of his chart, and you see something happened there, and it dropped in a blink. He was out. So I mean, unless his recorder skipped ahead or something and took out some time there. There was something that made that drop really quickly, and it's possible he might even got some slippage on that one. I don't know. So he may. I don't know what he made on the runner. I couldn't see it, so we'll just leave it at that. So, but nice trade. I think he played it right. I think he played his runner correctly. It's probably how I would have played it. Um, but yeah, nice trade overall. And he did. I'm assuming he did get something on the runner there. He might have got. I mean, if he got stopped out where his stop was, which hopefully it was a limit order. I always exit on the limit orders on my runners, just to make sure. Actually, I take that back. Those should be safety stops. It should still be a safety stop. I always use safety stops because if it shot through real fast like that and it didn't fill your limit order, you may get stuck in that trade. So you want to get out no matter what in case something crazy were to happen. So your exit orders, except for your targets, I always use limit orders for my targets to make sure I get the full target I'm trying to get. Now my safety stops are always stops, not limit orders. You can use limit orders, sure, if they'll let you put them in. It probably most of your there's rules to where you can put a limit order in and can't, and so unless your trading software allows for you to put a limit order in, and they work it out on the broker's end or whatever, you can't exit on limit orders unless it's your target. So I mean, you'll have to read up on that if you don't understand that. But anyway, uh, if you could use a limit order, you could get left behind and not get filled, and if something crazy happened. And that's the one beauty of day trading, is that usually you don't have to worry about that because we're usually going to use safety stops. And if the market moved real fast, you might get some slippage, but at least you're going to get out. Where if you had a limit order and it shot through real fast like that, you could get left behind and not get out because it would have to come back to it again before it would fill it, and you could be in big trouble. So just keep that in mind. But nice trade by this trader. Thanks for sending it to me. Um, Again, I encourage everybody to send me some trades if you want to send them to me, and it may take me a week or so to get to them because I have a few that people have sent me that I couldn't get to before. So, but anyway, I enjoy getting them, and I think people enjoy watching them, and they're good learning opportunities. So if you have trades, send them to me. Okay, I'm going to play one more here. Let me find it real quick, and we'll get it going. Okay, here's the next trade. He looks like the trade already triggered before he could get the recording going. And what he's trading here is a second entry. There's you got a range, so he's playing range rules really. You got a failed breakout, but it's also a second entry, very bearish signal bar. If I was going, this looks like this was a engulfing bar, if I remember this right. It broke higher and failed and turned down. You could go short one tick below that right there if you really wanted to, and that's probably the better place to enter because you're entering much further away from the EMA with greater chance of prices having room for you to scalp out. But most breakouts are going to fail. We already know that. Plus, he's getting the second entry. I'd probably still mark this green because you probably want to wait on a lower high. But sometimes it pays to take these type trades because they turn out to be, these failed breakouts turn out to be important highs if it breaks out the high side, or important lows. So I like this trade. I think he's playing it properly. I don't know if he just got a better entry, he had it one tick, or he waited for it to break lower and then dropped a limit order and just attempted to get a better tick, because I didn't get to see him enter it. But basically he's entering on a second entry on a failed breakout. So let's let it play out, and we'll go from there. But you can see this one takes some heat too, and this is a good example of why we put our safety stop where we put it. It has to go one tick above the signal bar if you're short, or one tick below the signal bar if you're long. And you can see if you'd have put it anywhere just about else within this bar, except the top 2 or 3 ticks, you'd have got stopped out. And that's what I can't tell you how many times people have come to me and they've read about this risk reward. You can't have a bigger risk than your reward and all this stuff. And so they ignore the rule and they start putting their safety stop in here in the middle somewhere. And I can just tell you right now, you're going to get stopped out 9 times out of 10. I've had people contact me over and over and says, I can't get a trade going, and I would say, well, send me one of your trades and let me see where you're getting stopped out and what's happening. And it never fails. They don't have their stop in the right place and they're getting stopped out in the middle of a signal bar. Well, that's going to happen to you almost every time. There's very few trades that don't take a little heat, and a lot of them, and some of them are going to take a lot of heat like this one did. So your safety stop always has to go 1 tick above the signal bar, or if you were entering down here, like here, 1 tick below the signal bar. That's it. Nowhere else. But anyway, he's short here on the second entry, and he's already filled. And you can see this trade lasted a minute and 50 something, maybe a minute and 40 something seconds. And he just scalped out on 5 contracts. So nice trade, easy trade. Yeah, I mean, it's quick and easy. And you're only trying to get 4 ticks before it goes a bunch more than that and stops you out at a swing high or swing low where you don't expect to get stopped out. So nice trade. Thanks for sharing it with us. I like the trade. You might consider waiting on a lower high there, but a lot of times you're not going to get a lower high. So if you don't take this trade, you're probably not going to get a trade. But at the same time, that doesn't mean you want to risk getting stopped out. You need to evaluate the setup. And I really like this setup because it is going to probably come back and retest this breakout area. Even if it's going to go higher, it's going to do that most likely first. And so the key is getting in as high as you can on the reversal back towards the breakout area. And so that, this guy gets in right here where could have been better if you'd got in 1 tick below that bar. And since it's an engulfing bar and broke higher first, you could get in there. It won't always work out that way though. So, but I mean that could have been a good signal bar, and he could have just gone short 1 tick below that. So anyway, nice trade. Thanks for sharing it with us. I might have one more. Let me see if I've got one more. Okay, we did have one more here. So this trade is gonna be a second entry short. All right, notice that you had this spike and channel up. You had a close outside, move to a new high, and now you're working down. You finally got a close outside. You got 2 legs up. And notice you got the correction going up. You get a close outside new high. And so everything is pointing to go lower here. And if you get a second entry with a good setup, which this is going to be because you've got this correction with a break and a new high, and if it triggers a second entry, it's probably going to be a good trade. So let's watch this one play out. And we'll start her up here. Here's the play button. They send them to me in different formats, you see he dropped his sell stop 1 tick below the signal bar. He got filled. He got filled almost instantly, and he's going to be out of this thing within a few seconds. And this is a 3 contracts scalping, 1 point on 3 contracts. So easy. $150 minus your commissions. And if you live somewhere where you can live on $150 a day, or if you're just trying to make some part-time money until you build your account up to get make full-time money, then where else can you make $150 in 30 seconds? And there it is. He's out. So nice trade, nice read. on a trade like that, you're probably, I mean, that's a very high probability trade. Even if it doesn't go down and make a new low, and yet it's a high. I mean, look at that signal bar. It's a perfect signal bar. It's clearly a first entry, second entry. You've already got a break and new high. I mean, there's a lot of reasons to like this trade. So, nice trade. And so there's your three easy trades. I think the second one was he scalped out 1 point on 5 contracts. So that's 5 points. So that's $250 that trader made. And I believe the other one he scalped out on 4, and he had a runner, but we don't know what he did on his runner. So he probably made a little over $200 on that. Even, let's just say even if he lost a tick, he made close to $200. But I'm guessing he probably got out close to break even. He had it break even +1. So I'd be shocked if he probably got much worse than break even on it. So at the very least, he probably made $200 less his commissions. And you saw all of these trades were 30 seconds to a minute or so. One of them had a runner, so it lasted a little longer. But it's quick and easy, low stress, because you're not sitting here all day fighting and watching, having to take. I mean, a lot of times if you're going to swing trade, you got to sit on a loss before you get into the money. And you might watch it get into the money and go back to a loss, and get into the money and go back to a loss a couple of times before you're consistently in the money and trying to, get the trend to running. And it's just harder to, swing trading is hard because I think you probably could say prices almost go sideways more than they go up. So, but with our strategy, it doesn't matter. Prices can only do three things. They can trend up, they can trend down, or they can just chop sideways. And we got a strategy that you can figure out, even if it's just chopping sideways, which the market tends to do a lot, you can still make money. And so you're only in the market for short periods of time. You're taking very low risk. I mean, the most risk you're going to take is whatever size this signal bar is. If that's 8 ticks, you're taking 2 points risk. If it's 15 ticks, you're taking, let's just say 12 ticks, and you're taking 3 points of risk. And no matter what, we're only trying to scalp out 4 ticks. We don't care that the risk reward is not equal. Because if you're reading the chart right, the odds are higher that you're going to go 4 ticks in this direction before you go however many ticks back in this direction and break above a swing high and stop you out. If that happens, then you read the chart wrong and you're way off. And that can happen. I mean, it does happen. But once you get really good at reading this chart, that's going to happen to you much less and more rarely. And if you get really good, you'd be shocked at how long of winning streaks you can get with this strategy of just trying to get 4 ticks. And then I haven't even talked about the runners. If you can catch a runner, you catch the right runner, you can wipe out all your losses and then add another 10 scalps in some cases, or 20 scalps, and wipe out all your losses at the same time on one trade, on one runner. It can really change your math. So that's the beauty of this strategy, is that you don't have to catch a trend, because the market ranges and chops around more than it trends. And that's just a fact. And so you don't have to worry till you catch a trend. If you catch a trend, great. You might get a runner. If you don't catch a trend, who cares? We're still getting our 4 ticks. And when you can trade multiple contracts, when you get to that point, you can make a lot of money in just a very few seconds. And generally 1 or 2 trades, and you can make anywhere from $50 on one contract to $1,500 or $2,000 if you can trade 15 or 20 or 25 contracts. And you're only in it for a few seconds, and you might only need 1 trade, but you might get 2 really easy trades, and you can double your money. So just keep that in mind. Hope you enjoyed watching the trades, and hopefully you're learning something from this. People tend to like seeing these trades, and these aren't my trades. These are student trades, people that I've taught to do exactly what you see me do. It can be done. So don't think that it can't be done. Now, it looks a whole lot easier when you watch us doing it, but you can. It's not as hard. It's not as easy to learn as it looks, but it's not as. It is as easy to do as it looks once you learn how to read the chart. I hope that came across properly. But it takes a while to learn this. This is a skill, and you got to learn the skill. I can teach you the strategy, and you can learn that pretty quickly. You might learn that in 6 months to 6 to 8, 12 months. Most people can. But the real key is getting the experience and being able to do it consistently, and understanding all the looks of the market. And and another thing I'm gonna say real quickly before I hang up, I hear this all the time. This strategy's old. It doesn't work anymore. That's probably the most farthest thing from the truth. I've been doing this for 25 plus years, and it works exactly the same today as it did 25 plus years ago. The market has not changed one bit. Now, granted, it gets more volatile and less volatile. It gets more volume and less volume, so it speeds up and slows down. That does happen. But once you've done this long enough and you've seen it all, it just gets easier. When you can do it when it's really fast, it's nothing. It's easier to do when it's slow. It actually will get frustrating and boring when it gets slow, because you might, instead of being in this scalp 5 to 30 seconds, you might be in it for 5 minutes. It might take 5 minutes to go that far. I've seen that happen. 10 minutes. The market is literally that slow. But we hadn't had that problem. We hadn't had that slow problem lately. It's been more volatile. So, but this strategy is not, it works exactly the same as it always has. If it hadn't changed in 25 years, it's not going to change in the next 25 years. AI can come out. So far, there's people already doing the AI. I haven't seen any change in these charts with AI. So don't let people tell you that this don't work anymore, or you can't do that, or AI is going to change this. These are all those excuses come from people that can't trade and can't make money. So they make excuses because they don't want to admit failure or that they can't do something. So be careful who you listen to. Don't listen to anybody. Just don't listen to them. If you want to do this, go out and learn it on your own. That's why I don't like Discords. You're going to just pick up a lot of bad information in there. I don't even like our forum, but at least in the forum, we can control the message. If somebody's saying the wrong thing, we can go in there and say, no, that's not right. This is correct. They're wrong. But in Discord, and most of these people running these Discords, they're not skilled traders. They might know this strategy pretty good and better than most, but if they were making money, they wouldn't be wasting time in that Discord. They'd be out trading and making money and going and doing whatever they like to do in their life. So trust me on that when I tell you that. Skilled traders that know what they're doing don't hang out in forums. They don't hang out in Discords. And if they are nice enough kind of people to say, hey, I want to help somebody else and pass it on, kind of why I did this, is they're going to go there, and those people are going to throw all the golden words and the stuff that you read, all that stuff is wrong. 99% of the golden rules of trading are wrong. And they're going to throw all that out to you. They're going to spout it all out because they know it from like the back of their hand. And they're going to discourage you. They're going to lead you down a wrong path, and you're going to lose, and you're not going to have success. So if you can stay away from that kind of noise, you're going to be better off. Basically, the way I explain this is I can teach you how to read the music. You got to practice and learn how to play eloquently. And so I can teach you how to read the chart and understand what's happening with price action and understand price movements. But you got to go in and put the work in and get practice and repetition. How do you get good at any skill? Through practice, study, and repetition. Ask any sport, anything that's skill related, and this is certainly a skill. You get better at it through practice, study, and repetition. Not listening to somebody else that doesn't really know what they're talking about, that'll throw some what they think are their great ideas out there that's only going to send you backwards. It's going to make you worse, distract you, get you off on the wrong path. I can tell you right now what happens to most traders is they come in here and they find some strategy or somebody introduces them and say, oh, that looks cool. And they go try it and it doesn't work. But the problem is they haven't learned how to really do it yet. They don't understand price movements, or the strategy probably doesn't work, because 99% of what this, I mean, there's people that sell stuff for thousands of dollars out there that isn't worth the paper it's written on. I can tell you that right now. So most they go out and they try this strategy, but even if it does work, or it's semi-successful, they don't stay with it long enough, and then they're on to the next thing. Well, that didn't work. Let's try another strategy, and they try it for 2 or 3 weeks, maybe a month. They're not making any money, so they're on to the next strategy. This strategy works. I can promise you that. We got a lot of people that have had success doing this. I can't even tell you a number, but I get new people that come in every day. It says, hey, you hadn't heard from me in a while because I'm making money and I'm busy trading, and I hadn't had time to come back and say thanks, or I hadn't had to come back to share my success with you, or whatever. Because once they can do it, they're not busy playing around on the internet and in forums and discords, and they're busy trading, making money. And so you got to be able to stick with, you got to get on, find something that works and stay with it till you can learn it. And if you can't make it work, then it's probably you don't have the skill set for this, because this is a skill. But I've seen people that stayed with it for 10 years before they made it. They just, if you really want to do this, just never give up. Stay with it until you can do it. And some of you are going to get it. I mean, I've had traders making money in a year or so. Well, I've had others that took them 10 years. And I've had some that say, I've been doing this for 5 or 6 years and I'm close, but I'm still not making any money. So will they ever get there? I don't know. But if you can get to break even, I'll say this and I'm going to end this video, but if you can get to break even, you are a better trader than probably 80% of the traders out there, maybe 90. You're just not good enough to beat the 10% that can actually trade, that know what they're doing, that make money every day. But you're knocking at the door. And the difference is probably just getting enough experience and staying with it and studying those trades every day till you start to see those last little nuances that are throwing you off that you're missing. So, I've had a lot of people that have been at break even for years, but they can't get over that hump. But I'm telling you, if you can get to break even, you're already better than 80% of the traders out there. And it's just a matter of time. If you stick to it and stick to your guns and never give up, eventually, it might take 2 or 3 more years. It might take 2 or 3 more weeks. It might take 2 or 3 more months. I don't know. And everybody's going to be a little different. But if you can get to break even, I promise you, and you can do that consistently now. It doesn't mean you break even for a day or two and then you lose. And if you can get to break even consistently and maybe even make a little money here and there and then back to break even, you're knocking at the door of changing your life forever. I can promise you that. So don't give up. Just don't waste your money trying to do it live. Get back on the simulator until you're consistently making money every day. And then go to the MES so you don't lose all your trading capital when you first go live. And then when you're making money there every day, then go to the ES. And then the world's your oyster after that. You can do what you want with it. You can probably get, and this is not get rich quick scheme. It's make a good salary every day, and before long it starts to add up, and then you start to become wealthy. Take your profits and go invest it. You're going to need, if you're making money at this, you're going to need tax shelters. Go buy real estate. I could quit trading tomorrow and my real estate's going to give me all the income I need. I don't have to trade anymore. I do it because I love it and I'm addicted to it, and I can't get away from it. But that's the only reason anymore, because I don't need the money anymore. I'll just be honest with you. I could quit trading tomorrow and I've bought so much real estate with the money I made trading that I'll never have to trade again. And that's what you want to get to. You get you enough investments, whatever you like investing in. Real estate's still a lot of work. So there's probably something better than that. But with real estate, you get the tax breaks and everything else. So that was why I originally got into it. But little did I know what real estate was going to do over the last 20 years. And man, it's just been the right place to be. My timing of where I'm at in this college town was perfect. So it worked out great for me. And I'm a blessed man. Many of you have heard me say that before. I'm blessed beyond my means and better than I probably deserve. But trading has been good to me, and the real estate has been just as good, if not better, to me, honestly. My trading and really helped me get the money to do what I needed to do, and then the real estate. They just, you want to buy assets. Don't buy stuff that depreciates. Always buy assets, and you'll always be better off. But anyway, I'm gonna get off my soapbox. Hope you enjoyed these trades. If you're trying to do this and trying to get profitable, just keep working at it. Never give up. Don't listen to the naysayers. Be careful who you listen to. Be careful. Always go out and verify anything somebody tells you. Don't believe anything I tell you. Go verify it. Um, and I'd say that for anybody. That's not just me. If somebody tells you something, go prove it and verify it. Don't believe it till you can verify it. And so anyway, I'm gonna wrap it up. I'll see you on Monday. I'm done for today. This is Mac with PriceActionTradingSystem.com, and we'll see you next time.